Hey there, billionaires. Welcome again to the very pinnacle of the 4-part Podbite series we begun some weeks ago. It's been an exciting journey for me, and I'm glad you all have continuously tuned in. There has been so much shared through this series, and I'm honored by the feedback I've gotten from you all. And for all those joining us for the first time, welcome, and don't worry, you're not left behind. You can always go back to catch up on the previous episodes. We've talked about money fears, techniques for getting rid of limiting thoughts, and goal setting. We've also seen how to rewire our brains in order to receive the abundance that we seek by decluttering our physical and mental spaces. It's been a fun, knowledge-packed series, and I have loved every minute of it. I'm sure you have as well. Today, we're at the culminating point. How to apply techniques and remove limiting beliefs from your business life. Have you ever asked a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up? The responses are normally such as, oh, I want to be an astronaut, a race car driver, or a lawyer, or a superhero. As a kid, we all had big dreams. But what stops you from dreaming big now? Even if you are or have been an employee for a long time, being your own boss is still a possibility. We often get caught up in the how of things and become overwhelmed before we even start, rather than just taking it step by step. It's time to dream big. Welcome, everyone, to the Heir Academy podcast. I'm your host, Billy C. Heir, gracing you with profound insights that may rattle your perceptions of entrepreneurship, finances, and business. I'll be sharing my unique thoughts and peerless perspectives on a number of topics, and together we'll go on several interesting and exciting journeys that will enable us to uncover the gems in this ever so celebrated practice of creating value, discipline, and building futures. Stay tuned, and let's dig into today's content. It's great to have you. Time to inherit your greatness. Everything we've talked about in the previous episodes leads up to an endpoint, which is a new way of life. It's almost like you're playing the same game, but with a different set of rules. Kind of like when you play Uno with a new set of people and you have to ask what their house rules are. If you've implemented any of the techniques from the previous episodes, you should be now aware of your ability to curate your thoughts, alter your perceptions, and set up for accomplishments. So now, how do we implement that in the world of business? Whether you want to start a company, a part of one, or have your own. We all may not be facing the same journey, but we can learn a bit from each other. You need to know the tools to equip yourself with to make your reality as alluring as you've always imagined. Want to start a bakery? Want to sell stickers or socks? First thing first is making the decision if this will be a business or hobby. Some solopreneurs have a difficult time envisioning themselves as the CEO of their own business, simply because they work alone. This is a limiting belief that can lead you to treating your business like a hobby instead. You have to check that. There's nothing more limiting than being complacent with your business. Realize that you're a self-starter and that no one is coming to save you. You're the chief executive officer of the vision, the core driver, so what's your destination? You must break free of the backseat mentality and understand that the wheel is in your hands and each turn is your prerogative. You're in charge of the bigger picture, so the first thing you must do is get rid of the employee mentality. No more waiting on instructions to be executed mindlessly day in and day out. You must become the catalyst for growth, inspiration, and progress. You must become the leader. The superhero that rescues yourself and leads the charge. That's what you've signed up for. Are you shocked? Did you think being the boss is a cushy, soft-padded position? This doesn't mean shy away from the task at hand, but more so, take it head on. Understanding the task ahead is important because you must manage the business, the clients, and your team members. Does that seem like a lot? Absolutely not. At least not for someone like you who is driven and focused. Right? It's no wonder some bosses end up being a bit of a pain. They're wearing so many hats. But it's possible if you manage things aptly. First, you must take the right actions in order to start thinking like a CEO. You must empower yourself and make use of all the tools at your disposal to make your work as efficient as you possibly can. My motto is do what you do best and outsource the rest. Make no mistake, things will get hard, but those same techniques we learned in the earlier pod bites can also be used in your business life. You must also apply the same tactic of keeping track of your profits and expenses in your business life, just as personal. It's important to track every penny so you can recognize the abundance that's already all around you in a more tangible way. This will keep you in the mindset of bountifulness and energize you to go out and make more. It really only takes a few minutes. Check your online business bank account balances, PayPal, or whatever you use to accept payments, and take note of how you're handling your money. People typically tend to shy away from seeing the reality of their accounts. Don't do that. Personal or business, it's your money to look over. Really look at these numbers and understand what they represent. When you are hitting your goals, feel proud of yourself. And if you aren't, allow those figures to motivate you to make some changes. I mean, someone's got to do it, right? It might as well be you. You can even keep a journal that reassures you by recording all of your accomplished monetary goals. That ought to give you a jump when you feel like you can't get things done. Let those be your little trophies. When you look at those trophies, ensure that you talk about them. We all want to talk about what we're proud of, right? So yeah, let your trophies motivate your conversations about money and never dwell on the goals that you fell short of. Another really crucial thing to remember is that creating a business budget can literally save your business from sinking. You've got to have a plan for paying off debt and an outline for how to increase revenue based on the tools you already have. Also, as your own boss, your business is most likely your source of livelihood, so if it fails, you'd be in trouble. Set that budget and set those goals. You've got to be your own worst critic. No one else will check you like you can check yourself. It's a wonderful feeling when you're able to curtail your spending and other habits so that you feel abundant each time you check your balance. And feeling abundant is a habit you can actively work to cultivate. Try one or more of these exercises and incorporate them into your regular routine. A popular cliche is, sometimes you just have to fake it until you make it. But my take on it is, you've got to feel it until you make it. And you may be wondering what I mean by that. Okay, so you know how you may have plans or goals, such as going on a business trip or purchase this or that? You must curate the feeling of having done these things in your mind first, in order to position yourself emotionally and mentally to actually accommodate them in your life. If one of your goals is to make enough money to take vacations and stay at fancy resorts or hotels, you can do things to make it feel as though you were already at that point. You can visit local cuisine spots or nice hotels around you once in a while to get a real sense of that lifestyle. That does two things for you. First of all, you know this exists and you can envision yourself living that life. Secondly, you will have tasted the life, so it's a clear indication that it is meant for you. You aren't really faking anything. You're just feeding your imagination and trying on the clothes at the boutique before you buy it. I mean, you have to know if it fits first, right? How much money do you ideally want to make each month? Write that number out and then create a spreadsheet allocating each dollar to something specific you'd like to spend it on if you actually had it in your possession. You could even write yourself a blank check with that amount on it and put it somewhere you can see it. Raise your aspirations and watch how your efforts double. Money is energy. It's neutral, not positive or negative. It is a tool, not the goal itself. Think about your relationship with money, like you think about your other relationships in your life. How do you want it to shape out? How long do you need it in your life? Willfully cultivate a healthy relationship with it. Just like in a regular relationship, you'll still get triggered by money issues from time to time. But now, not as often as before. And now, you'll handle it and move on unscathed, unlike before. How you respond to situations is your responsibility, and responding from a calm, centered place is much better. As you're shifting into your CEO mindset, looking for inspiration all around you, use the internet to find success stories, read books, listen to podcasts like you're doing now. You can also turn to your local community and talk to other business owners who meet your definition of success. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Utilize business networking events or groups to meet and hear even more success stories. These networking groups depend on their members getting to know each other and their businesses, so this is a great way to pick their brains and ask for advice. All of these make you a better visionary because you'll be learning from people ahead of you and soaking up knowledge. You'll be faced with many business opportunities, but will all of them serve your goals? Definitely not. Learn to say no more frequently, especially if the long-term benefits to your business are not immediately evident. If you want to say yes, take an extra pause and examine the opportunity carefully. Not every opportunity is great long-term, even if they have short-term glory. What will your business gain as a result of your participation? Follow your instinct as well as your long-term vision for yourself in the business when choosing partnerships or projects to pursue. Now, don't get me wrong. You mustn't turn down great opportunities solely because they have only short-term value. No, this is when delegation comes into the picture. Can you take on that contract and subcontract it? You'll gain the business and the relationship, and you'll also be creating value for someone else. I'll call that a great day at the office. An entrepreneur's success largely depends on the relationship they build. This includes with other business leaders, local businesses, coaching prospects, and social media followers. Remember that business networking isn't really about pitching yourself at every opportunity. Take every chance you get to add value to other people as well. You gain social capital, and that pays off tremendously in a myriad number of ways. If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed at the idea of shifting into a CEO mindset, take a deep breath and step back for a moment. You don't need to do all these things at once. Things like building relationships requires consistency over time. Instead of worrying if you can handle it all, pick and choose which exercises or tasks to start with and build them into daily habits. Following all we've seen through this series, you can see that you can actually move from wherever you are in life to wherever you want to be. The key is willingness and consistency, so start today. Release your fears and limiting beliefs. Kiss bad money habits goodbye to welcomed. Make room for abundance. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I appreciate you, and I hope you've been able to pick out actionable knowledge that excitedly makes your life richer. That's the end of the Cash Concepts Podbite series, but I'm going to be gracing you with more Podbites to unpack more gems, so please keep listening. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss a thing. Also, don't forget to share in the comments what type of business you have or would like to start. If you're interested in a free ebook to help you along your journey, go ahead and check out the Billionaire Mindset and subscribe to our email list. The title of the game is Progress, Not Perfection, and the Billionaire Academy podcast is here to travel with you on your journey to help make it more fulfilling. Time to inherit your greatness. Till next time.